So I know what you're gonna say. These shoes look pretty damn amazing, right? Am I right? I knew you guys were gonna compliment my boots. I knew you were gonna do that. I really honestly knew that. I'm psychic, you see. I'm psychic. I know what you guys think. I also have a scratch on my nose as well. And just so you know, I didn't get into a tussle with a wall when this happened. It's actually a burn. So before you ask, no, I didn't get into a fight. I just burnt myself. I don't even know if you can see the scratch, to be fair. I don't know what I'm on about. Anyway, let's just get started with a fucking video, shall we? Hello everybody and welcome to another indie game review. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Rooftop Rage, which has only recently come out on Steam in its early access form at the moment. Normally I would be looking at this game on Indie Game News, obviously for June, because I haven't done that yet. But I was actually doing the research for that. Currently, like, last night I think, I was doing the research for it, and I came across this game, and it just, I don't know, it stood out to me. I was thinking, maybe not talk about this, just briefly glance over it in Indie Game News. You know, why not do a full review on this? Why not talk about this in more depth and actually get to play the game myself and share my thoughts with you guys and why I think it's worth getting. So this game came out on the 8th of June. It's currently $14 if you're in America, or if you're in Great Britain it's about £12. So it's not too expensive. I know it's an early access game, and I think it's kind of worth the money, if I'm honest. I'm a stingy bastard when it comes to games, but you know, this I have to say, I have to say it's £12 worth spent, I think. Did I say that right? Rooftop Rage is basically a 2D fighting game. It's very fast paced, it's very fun. You get lots of different, actually there's not a lot of different moves, it's actually quite simple in terms of what moves you can do. But I won't talk too much about it. I'll just let you guys watch some of the gameplay because it's exciting. As explained on the website, Rooftop Rage is a martial arts platform fighter featuring epic rooftop battles, couch play for up to 8 players. 8 players. You have 8 different characters to fight with on 8 different stages to fight on. Each stage has different levels and platforms. Some have more platforms than others. You know, some have very small platforms, very high platforms, with different levels of platforms. Either way, there's a lot of platforms on each level, and that makes the combat element of it very, well, not confusing, but very tactical in terms of the ways that you want to kill people or defeat, not kill people, but defeat your enemy. There's not much change in the moves of the characters and the way they fight. It's more or less one character's better at a certain move than the other. Say like if you've got a character with a long halberd, long stick thing with a blade on the end. She's much better at keeping her distance and poking you from far away, or jumping up and stabbing you, basically. Or you got a samurai type character who's much better in close quarters, and surprisingly, I will say this when I'm playing this game, surprisingly very good in the air as well. So you get fucked basically if you try and jump over him, he somehow always gets you. Boop, 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 boop. 4 different types of game modes: a stock match, score match, team match, and practice mode. That's for the local game anyway. Like the online is a different system, but either way, like there's 4 different game modes. Obviously, team, you fight in teams. Stock mode, I think, is more to do with fighting in stocks. Stock mode is more or less lives, so for example you can start off with having like 3 stocks or 3 lives, and then you once you kill your opponent 3 times you win the match, or vice versa, you lose the match. Practice mode, there isn't anything to do with practice mode, it's just practicing. And then obviously score matches, whoever accumulates the highest score from beating up their opponent as much as possible wins, obviously. But there's different levels as well that you can have the CPU if you're playing against the computer. Level 1's the lowest, and it goes up to like level 9. All in all, this game looks like it's had a lot of work put into it. Let's just say that. They thought a lot about it. Sorry, I keep swaying on my chair. I just keep seeing myself in the corner of my eye on the camera, just like, stop swaying, Dom, piece of shit. Obviously, the developers have put a lot of work into this game. They obviously want to improve it much more. It's only in early access at the moment, so they could be adding more characters, more areas to fight in, more maybe different game modes, particularly with online. So it's interesting to see what else they're going to go with it. As for the gameplay, the actual game itself and playing it, I only played against a computer. I didn't play against an online player, mainly because I'm a bit of a scrub and I wasn't very good and I didn't feel confident enough to play against an online player. Because of how fast-paced it is, and fighting against the CPU, particularly with a computer against the AI that's so... It's so fast, like, it's really hard to keep up with it. Like, I tried playing with the keyboard first, and I was like, this is impossible. Like, I can't do this because my keyboard isn't particularly great, so it's very difficult to kind of move around, especially when moving, or when attacking is X, C, and V, and something else is block as well. It's a bit strange. So, you know, I don't really want to do that. So, playing with a controller is a hell of a lot better for this game rather than playing with a keyboard. I will advise that it is much better and much easier to use a controller. As for the gameplay, it's smooth, it's not clunky, but a little bit too smooth at times because you can easily fall off the edge. The game literally wants you to die. It literally tries to kill you because it's what it's trying to do. It's trying to make you fall off the edge. And basically the aim of the game is to kill your opponent while staying on the platforms. And staying on the platforms, I would say, is probably the most difficult thing that I had with this game. Fighting your opponent is actually slightly more difficult than I anticipated, especially when it comes to actually hitting them. You can jump around your enemy. I think I spent about 5 minutes once just jumping around my enemy trying to fucking hit the little shit. And every time I'd miss, and every time he would miss. And then eventually one of us would get hit and it would just throw you off your stride, especially when you're running. It would shoot you across the map or whatever like that, across the stage. And you know, it really does throw you off. Once you're hit, basically, and it's very difficult to recover from that, especially when they get a combo on you. Which is interesting. It really kind of ups the stakes of it, I think. It really does up the stakes and makes every hit more valuable and worth it. It makes you want to be more precise when it comes to combat. So you got to really think tactically about it, because that one hit, you know, you could be winning. You know, you could have hit your opponent a million times. You could have loads of damage on him. He could have no health, and he can hit you once, and that'll be it, and you'll fall off the platform and you'll die. It really is that simple. A lot of people I think wouldn't like that about the game. They'd say it's maybe bad combat, bad programming. I quite like it like that. Even though it's frustrating, I like it like that. It really does kind of engage you more with it. Not you know, it's very tactical in the way that you think about combat instead of button mashing. Well, it is kind of button mashing in a way. Once you get someone and you do combos and stuff like that, you do mash the buttons to kind of get the health down as much as possible. I feel like because of that, there's logic to it. And it's not, you know, you don't just mash the buttons and you're gonna fucking win. You know, if you mash the buttons, you're probably gonna fall off the edge and die, basically. And I feel like this game is designed to not make you mash the buttons and to make you think about every move that you're taking. My favourite character to play as was Guan, maybe because she's fast, you could keep your distance. I felt like it really kind of suited my style of play for this game a lot better. Jin was also another character that I like to play, mainly because he's quite close quarters as well. He's the samurai guy. Another character that was a bit of a dick. And I didn't play as him, but he was just a dick. I think this is why I didn't play as him, because I thought he was an absolute dick. And that's Leon. And he has guns. And that is the most frustrating thing for any other character in this game. Mainly because most other characters don't have any advanced way of using range. Anyway, I know I rambled on a little bit, particularly about the gameplay, but I do actually think this is a very good game. It's beautiful. I'll leave description links. I'll leave links in the description down below to this game, to link to buy it or look more about it if you're interested. You know, links to their website and whatnot, and the press kit if you are interested in looking at press kits for indie games, because I know I am. I like press kits. I don't know why it is. I get really excited when I see a press kit, and you know, just, you know, it sounds weird, but I kind of kick into a bit of a fangirl moment. I'm just like, oh fuck, it's a press kit. Like, I'm just like immediately on that shit. Anyway, that's it for this video. Go check out my other videos. I've done some indie game news videos where I talk about some other indie games that have come out this year so far, and also done some other indie game reviews. So please, if you feel free, if you want to, go check them out. You don't have to. I'm not gonna push them upon you. I'm not gonna preach my shit. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.